Hello everyone, this is Waffle here. Welcome back to another Redstone tutorial. Today I'm going to be showing you an easy way to get all the saplings and potentially apples and really all the logs you could ever want in Minecraft. It's all survival friendly. You just have to have a lot of resources because we are making a tree farm. This comes complete with tree pusher, leaf crusher, and item collection system. The way this works is that you just come in here, turn on the lever, and everything starts firing. Then you can just hold down right click, and as soon as a tree grows, it'll push it over and raise you back up in order to have another tree grow and get all the logs you could ever want. And then once you are done, you just come over here, turn the lever back off, and just walk out. As you could probably tell from that demonstration, when you turn the farm on, this block right here raises up. When a tree grows, it lowers down, it pushes the tree out, crushes all the leaves, and then raises you right back up. So that way everything is happening around you, but you are not in danger at all. In order to build this farm, you're going to need a 9 by 11 building area, as well as 1 stack plus 11 sticky pistons, 1 stack plus 30 blocks of your choice, whatever blocks you want, or you can substitute one of those blocks for a distinct one, which is the one that we are going to be using to stand on. You are also going to need 1 dirt block, 2 chests, 18 hoppers, 1 dispenser, 3 comparators, 19 repeaters, 1 stack plus 48 redstone dust, 1 lever, 64 stone slabs, or really whatever slabs you want, 1 stack plus 7 logs, any logs you want, 1 transparent block, I chose glass in this case, 3 droppers, 1 redstone torch, and 7 stacks of bone meal. To start off, you are going to place 1 sticky piston facing upwards in the direct center of your building platform. Then you're going to place a block on top of that, which is the block you're going to be standing on. If you want to make this distinct, that is your prerogative, and feel free to use whatever block you want. Then build 3 blocks off from that, and then on the opposite side of that, you're going to build 1 junk block. Put a block on top of that, and put the dirt block on top of that one. This is mostly for aesthetics. If you want to leave that one open, feel free to do so. Then just build a 2-high wall along this 3-long platform. Just like that. And once again, if you don't want to have these walls here, feel free to get rid of them. They are mostly aesthetic. Then you're going to place 1 chest on either side of this gap right here with a hopper right on top of that. Make sure to hold shift when you're placing these so that way you do not open up the GUI. Then on the side of this particular chest, you're going to build out 3 hoppers. 1 hopper on top of that one, and then 2 more right behind that. So we have a layer of 3, then a layer of 3 right below that. Then on this side, you're actually just going to build a line of hoppers all the way out to the edge of your building area. Make sure to do that with both sides. And then place your middle hoppers so they feed into either of the 2 sides. Just like that. Next, you're going to place your dispenser facing in towards the dirt block right above it, like this. And then on the back side of the dispenser, you are going to place the blocks of your choice in a 3 by 3 square right here. Coming off the back side of the dispenser, you're going to place your comparator feeding into a repeater. Another repeater is going to be on the side of the comparator facing the opposite direction and facing into a block right next to the dispenser. This is what powers it. Then fill all of these empty blocks with redstone dust. Next, to wire this up, you're going to place 1 block right here, another block to the corner of that one with another block right behind it, another block to the corner of that one, and then coming out from the middle of your path blocks, 2 blocks just like this. And then fill all of these with redstone dust, except for this block right here, which has a redstone repeater. And then just place your lever right here in the middle of your path blocks, and turn it on, and you can see that everything has been powered. At this time, you also want to place a comparator on top of the hopper right next to the dirt across from the dispenser. This is going to be feeding into another block. Now let's work on the pushing mechanism that actually pushes the logs out of the farm and makes way for a new tree to grow. You're going to place a junk block right on the edge of those platform blocks right here. Place a sticky piston on top of that facing inwards with another piston on its face. Get rid of that junk block that you placed in the first step. And then continue this pattern up for 5 more blocks, so that way you have a 6-high tower. Just like this. Make sure you place it on the backside as well, because you're making a double piston extender here. To start off the wiring for this one, you're also going to place a slab on the backside of this piston, and this piston. Place a second slab right behind those. And then on this side, we're going to place 3 slabs just like this, feeding into one solid block. Do the same thing for each level. 3 slabs, block. And then another 3 slabs, and another block. On this other side, we're going to eliminate the block and instead replace that with more slabs. So we're going to do 4 slabs here, 4 slabs like this, and then another 4 slabs right here. On the back side of each of these blocks, we're going to place 1 repeater on a 4-tick delay. Make sure you do this on each single level. We're also going to place a 2-tick repeater behind each of these pistons on top of the slabs. So 1 right there, 1 right there, make sure it's on 2, and then 1 right there. And to connect each of these platforms, we're just going to place a couple of junk blocks coming out the side of those solid blocks with a slab right next to it. So that's again 2 junk blocks, slab, get rid of those junk blocks, slab, get rid of those junk blocks. We're also going to connect it on the other side, and we're doing that by placing a junk block right on the side of the empty piston right there, placing a slab next to it, and getting rid of the junk block. So junk block, slab, get rid of the junk block, and again, junk block, slab, get rid of that block. And then fill up every single one of these empty spaces with redstone dust. It is important to note that you must place these particular slabs, either at this block or further backwards. If you place it at this block, it will mess up the farm and make it so that you cannot get the double piston extension properly. Once you've connected all the wiring needed for these pistons right here, then we're going to come over here and start on the leaf crusher blocks. You do that by placing a piston, sticky piston, facing inwards right on top of this redstone right here, and then placing 5 more to the side of it, so that way we have a 6-lawn row, going all the way to the end of the hoppers. Place 4 more on top of it to make a 5x6 rectangle of sticky pistons, and then fill it all the way in. Now we're going to do a similar thing on the other side. We're going to place a junk block right here, place a sticky piston facing inwards right like that, 1 sticky piston to the side of it, and 4 more to the opposite side for a total of 6 on the row. Place another stack of 4 on top of that, and then fill in the entire rectangle so it all matches up. And once you've finished placing all of your pistons, then we need to work on wiring these into the main circuitry. So you do that by placing solid blocks behind each of these leaf block pistons on the top row, on the middle row, and on the bottom row. Then after that, you place more stone slabs coming out from these slabs that you placed earlier, feeding directly into the blocks that you just placed on the pistons. So that's happening on each level, and right here once again. Then on each of these blocks that are right next to the redstone dust, you're going to place a redstone repeater on 4 ticks of delay. It's going to be feeding out from the farm in this direction. That happens on, once again, each level. And there you go. On this level in particular, get rid of this block because we're going to be placing another block there later. But then on each of these ones, all the empty ones get redstone dust. And now we're going to repeat the exact same thing on the other side. So that's placing solid blocks along these pistons on the top, middle, and bottom rows. Then we're going to take some more slabs, bring them back out, and connect them to those solid blocks. Place a 4-tick repeater on each level, and fill up all the empty blocks with redstone dust. And now once all the pistons are in place and the circuitry has been wired up, then fill up every single piston face with logs. These must be logs, otherwise trees will not grow. It does not matter what kind of logs, as long as they are logs. Not even planks will work. Be sure to do this on both of the leaf crusher faces, as well as on the tree pusher mechanism. The only exception to placing the logs on every single piston is on the very bottom piston right here. That needs to be a transparent block such as glass. If it is solid, then the machine will not work and you'll get 1 push and that's it. That's because solid blocks allow redstone signal to pass through, which is what this is working off of. When the solid block is in front of a container with a comparator on the opposite side of that block, then the comparator will be able to pull through a signal from the container through that solid block. If it's transparent, it will not be able to do that. That's why we use glass. I almost forgot to hook up the main wiring to the input from over here. We do that by placing 3 slabs just like this. Place the solid block right next to them. Place another slab right down here next to the chest with another one right behind it. Place redstone dust on top of this slab, as well as all these 4 blocks up top here. And then a redstone repeater on a 3-tick delay, or 4-tick also works, but it just takes a slight little bit longer. But that should work perfectly fine. One other thing to mention before you actually do anything with your farm is, because I forgot about saying this earlier, you need to place all solid blocks right here in this corner in particular. This is part of the double piston extension, and it will not work without those blocks at all. Alright, so now as this farm stands, it is actually functional and ready to go. If you don't mind standing lower than all the rest of the blocks up here, then feel free to place some bone meal in the dispenser, flick the lever, and start planting to your heart's content. But because I designed this pushing block that you stand on to be part of this tutorial, then I'm going to show you how to do that right now. You'd come off 3 blocks from this block right here, put another block corner to that one, put redstone dust connecting up all the way to this block, and then on this one you place a sticky piston facing to the side with another block on its face. Then next to this piston you're going to place another block with the redstone dust on top of that, and then on the opposite side of the piston from that block you're going to place 3 more blocks in an L shape just like this. What you do then is you're going to place a redstone repeater facing into that piston head right there. Place a comparator facing towards this repeater on the top of the block. And a redstone dust connecting the both of them. Then you're going to place a dropper facing upwards next to that block. Dropper facing to the side just like this. And another dropper facing in towards that first block. Then you're going to need a hopper. Place that on top of that last dropper, so that way it's all flowing in this kind of circular pattern here. This mechanic right here is a T flip-flop. You may have seen it in my 5 redstone flip-flops you might need, and if you have not seen that, then feel free to check that video out, it's in the description. But if you have not seen that, then the input for this particular flip-flop is this dropper right here. So to connect this up to this wiring up here, we're going to place a couple more blocks coming off the side of this slab. Place another block to the corner of that one. Place another block to the corner of that one. And then get rid of both of these blocks down here. And then put redstone dust on top of every single thing up here. Except for this one, which has a repeater facing into that dust. And then we're going to come over here to this corner, where we got rid of the slab earlier. Place a block on the side of that repeater. And then 2 blocks below that is going to be another full block with a redstone dust on top of that. We're going to need to place our redstone torch on the side of this one, and then place another block 2 blocks below the redstone torch, just like this. Then come off 2 more blocks from that one, place a sticky piston facing upwards with a block on its face, place a repeater facing into that block that you placed on the sticky piston, and then fill up these 2 blocks with redstone dust. And everything should be working now. All you have to do now is simply place a random item inside the dropper and you should be ready to go. Once you are finished wiring everything up, come into your dispenser, place all of the bone meal you want in here. Once again, you're going to want no more than 7 stacks of bone meal in this at any time. If you have more than that, then this dispenser mechanism will not work. And you will also have to place this in manually. You probably could use hoppers, but it would be very difficult to wire it in here. But to use this, like I said before, just flick that lever, make sure there's bone meal in there, and then start planting. Feel free to hold down right click, and everything should be working perfectly. And as you can see here, these chests are now collecting all the saplings we could want from those leaves. If you stood here for, say, an hour here, you could probably get quite a lot of these. And now, there is one little thing here that, for some reason, I cannot seem to solve nor find the cause of. For whatever reason, sometimes this will require the comparator to be on the bottom block as opposed to on this top block here. You do that simply, or you rectify that simply by placing a solid block down on the bottom here and have the comparator coming out from this bottom one facing directly into this block. Very simple change, and if you find that it's needing that way for you, then it's a very easy change. And what I would recommend doing is placing a block right above this dirt block here, that is just one above these all these pistons that you've placed before. This limits the height of the tree that can grow, making sure it will not grow above the height of these pistons. And so that way you don't get a gigantic tree that will go above the pistons and potentially break everything. I've had that happen once, and it really sucks if that happens. One other thing to mention is that this is indeed survival friendly. You can easily build it in 1.8 and 1.9, as you can see here. I'm currently on 1.9. So if you want to build this in any of your worlds, it should work as long as it's in 1.8 or 1.9. I've tested both versions. And if you want to download this world for yourself, a link to it is in the description below. Anyways guys, I hope you've enjoyed this tutorial and find it useful. If you do, please be sure to hit a like and leave a comment down below. It really helps out the channel. Also make sure to subscribe if you really enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time. So long everyone.